Hey everyone, I'm Connor and welcome to my channel, The Closet. If it's your first time here, on my channel I like to talk about all things luxury, so if that's something you're into, I would love it if you could subscribe and hit the bell button. And if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be talking about everything to do with the Louis Vuitton Canvas Damier Azur. So if you're thinking about purchasing your first Damier Azur piece, or you just want to know a little bit more about it, keep watching. So Louis Vuitton have three main canvases that most SLGs and bags are produced in. That is Damier Azur, which is the very first Louis Vuitton canvas, way before the traditional monogram. Then there is the traditional monogram, which is probably the more popular choice for Louis Vuitton canvas pieces because obviously it's so iconic, and when you see it, you know Louis Vuitton. And then there's Damier Azur. So Damier Azur was basically the last of the most common canvas patterns to be created by Louis Vuitton, and this came out in 2006. Basically it was to offer a different color scheme to the other monograms because, as you saw before, both of them are like a dark brown and a dark color. So they created the Azur to be, I keep saying Azur, the Azur. So they created the Azur to be like a French Riviera vibe, a lighter color to appeal to obviously a completely different market, and it is so pretty. I think Damier Azur is incredibly underrated and a lot of people avoid it because it's a light color and people just assume that light colors are tricky, hard to use, difficult, don't want to get dirty, etc. But if you look after your canvas bags from the very beginning, they can be very, very durable and they can last years. So the first thing to know about the Azur canvas is that although it's part of the trio, I guess, of the most common Louis Vuitton canvases, Louis Vuitton probably produced the least amount in this canvas. So if you do have your heart set on a certain piece, go onto the Louis Vuitton website and make sure that it's actually made in this canvas. They do make the traditional bags like the Neverfull and Speedy and Damier Azur canvas, but because it is the least popular, a lot of the time those bags are out of stock as well. A little tip, if you go onto the Louis Vuitton website and you want to filter through canvases, if you just go into the search bar and type in Damier Azur or Damier Azur, it'll bring up all the items that Louis Vuitton produce in that canvas. So it's a really easy way to find things that you like without having to go through all bag section or SLG section or whatever. The next thing to know about the canvas is that a lot of people see the Damier Azur pattern as their answer to a white bag. And when they get it, they're like, oh, it's not actually white, it's like an off-white, and it's meant to be an off-white. So if you're looking at the canvas, the lighter squares are a very light creamy off-white color, and then the other square is a dark bluey gray check. Also with this canvas, with all canvases, there are discrepancies in the, I guess, saturation of colors, and obviously you'll get canvases that are thicker or they're more bumpy or whatever, but a lot of people have noticed with the Azur is that the discrepancy in the creamy off-white check is different. So you might get some that are more white or more darker off-white, and if you're one of those people that wants everything to be the same, probably don't get a bag in Azur because the discrepancy is so prevalent because of how light the bag is. The next thing to point out is that Damier Azur is mainly with vachetta. So if you are somebody who does not like patinaing leather, you don't want a bag that has raw cowhide because you don't want water staining, or you're just not into the leather getting darker, you probably should avoid Damier Azur because 98% of their items have vachetta. On the flip side of that, the contrast between the vachetta and the canvas is like chef kiss. It's so nice. It just contrasts really well, and it's like they were made for each other. So if you were somebody who loves that, I definitely would recommend Azur because the way that they just bounce off each other is incredible. The next thing to mention with this canvas is that the off-white check over time will develop a what's it called, like a yellow hue to it, or a more pronounced off-white hue. And the severity of this hue all depends on how you store the bag, how you treat the bag, how often it's left in the sun, all of those things, very similar to vachetta and how it ages. But for an example, these two bags have a discrepancy in the canvas. Now, this Speedy has a more pronounced yellow hue to the checks, while this I don't know the name of this bag. It's like corsage, or I just call it croissant because I can't remember it. But this bag is actually newer. Sorry, this bag is actually older than the Speedy, but this bag has been stored and used completely different to the Speedy. So the checks on this are a lot more cleaner and white, whilst the ones on the Speedy have that yellow hue to it. I'm not sure if it's getting picked up on the camera. I think it is in the viewfinder, I can see it. But in real life, the discrepancy is real. If you are somebody who looks after your bags, or if you store them properly, you're not going to see that dramatic yellowing of the canvas. And if you're somebody who keeps your bags out on the couch in the sun, they're going to develop it a lot sooner. But it's just one of those things that come with that canvas, and it's not going to stay pretty and white if you use it daily. It's just what comes with having a light colored bag. The next part is color transfer. Now, if you are a bag collector or somebody who has luxury items, you know that color transfer is like bag cancer. And if you have a light colored bag, whether it be leather or canvas, and you've gotten color transfer on it, it's a freaking nightmare to get off. It's honestly, it is just like hell on earth. But tips to avoiding color transfer with any bag, not just light colored bags, are if you get a new pair of black jeans or denim jeans, washing it like 2 to 3 times before using it with such a bag that is light, obviously washes out that dye. So when it comes into contact with the bag, it's either not gonna rub any color onto it, or it's not gonna be as drastic. Carry alcohol-free baby wipes in your bag if you think that there is a risk of color transfer, whether it be your own clothes, or if you put it down on a train seat, or if it's in a car, or anything where you think that there might be a risk. Carry alcohol-free baby wipes, because if you do happen to come into contact with it, they take away at least 80 to 90% of it if it happens, you know, relatively close to when you've noticed. So, good little tip. The next thing you can do is purchase products like Colonial Carbon Pro, which offer a film that will sit on top of the canvas. So if you do happen to come into contact with color and it rubs onto it and you don't know, it'll either not even go on the bag, it'll just bounce straight off, or it'll go on the film, which you can easily take off with a baby wipe, leather cleaner, any sort of thing like that. All in all, I really love the Azur canvas, and if Louis Vuitton had produced a few more pieces in it, I would honestly be up all over it. I think it's such a fresh, clean canvas, and it looks great with like a white shirt, jeans, and sneakers, and it's very understated, and that's what I love about it. It's very fresh. And I just wish that Louis Vuitton would make more pieces in this canvas, because at the moment, the only kind of thing I'm drawn to is the Speedy 30 in it. But I kind of, you know, want something a bit more, you know, exciting. So if you are thinking about getting an Azur piece, don't be scared by, you know, like the color transfer and things like that. Just know what you're up against. And like with any bag or light colored bag, you just got to be careful. Don't wear black jeans when carrying it. You know, don't pop it down on dark surfaces, and just be careful. But at the end of the day, most things can be fixed. And if there are accidents happen, you want to buy a bag so you use it, and you want to be, you know, carefree with it to an extent. So if you know what the things are to watch out for, then you won't be as scared when using such a bag. But if it's something that you've had your eyes on, definitely go for it. It's really beautiful, and, you know, hopefully Louis Vuitton bring out some more pieces in it. But thanks so much, guys, for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, pop them down below, and, you know, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.